Greetings, friends. Hope you all had a good Sunday. Hope you were able to participate or at least watch a worship service somewhere, whether it was Grace or in another church, as we are in the midst of this pandemic and worshiping in a virtual way, unlike anything we've ever done in any of our lives. But I hope you had a day of, well, that was at least for some part of it, spirit filled and reminded of who God is and who you are because of God and how amazing and awesome He is. So here we are on a Monday and resuming the devotions and a journey through the Psalms. We find ourselves today in Psalm 4. So let me go ahead and read that. David writes, "Answer me when I call, O God of my right. You gave me room when I was in distress. Be gracious to me and hear my prayer. How long, you people, shall my house suffer shame? How long will you love vain words and seek after lies? But know that the Lord has set apart the faithful for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. When you are disturbed, do not sin. Ponder it on your beds and be silent. Offer right sacrifices and put your trust in the Lord. There are many who say, 'Oh, that we might see some good.' Let the light of your face shine on us, O Lord. You have put gladness in my heart more than when their grain and wine abound. I will both lie down and sleep in peace, for you alone, O Lord, make me lie down in safety." The last couple Psalms have been really these lament Psalms where David's been crying out to God because his enemies are after him and he's just experiencing all kinds of terrible and awful things, and he's crying out to God in somewhat an anger and frustration of, "Where are you, God? Where are you in my life when all these things are going on?" Because who else can we turn to in the midst of the trials but understanding that God doesn't always answer the prayers the way that we want them answered, and certainly not always in our timing. But David still has an incredibly remarkable understanding of how mighty and powerful and sovereign God is, even when things aren't going his way. And who else can he turn to when the world seems to be out to get him? But in the midst of all of this angst and anxiety and really anger towards God, there's this underlying trust and hope in God because God is faithful, and David understands that God's not always going to answer the prayers the way that he wants them answered, and he knows that he's going to face trials, but he also knows with great confidence that God is always going to be there with him. At the very end, he says, "For you, O Lord, make me lie down in safety." God is the source of his strength and in his hope, and in a time like this, we all need that. We all need to have something and someone we can count on who will always be there and be present for us and who cares about us more than we can ever possibly imagine. And as David has built this relationship and his faith with God, it is very personal for him, obviously, but also with the great understanding of how mighty and powerful and awesome God is. Awesome. He is awestruck by the power and might of God. So as you go through your day today, or if you experienced your day, depending on when you're watching this video, if you're watching it, reflect on the things that have happened today and reflect on the moments where you felt God's presence. And if you're just starting out your day, try to be aware of God's presence in your life today. Where is God making himself known? Is it in the beauty of the sunrise or in the clouds or the mountains or whatever it might be? God is present and his might is visible for us just in creation. And we can always be reminded of that, even if we just look around to see God's majesty and his presence with us in this life. And so I hope that you experience or have experienced God's might and his majesty at some point throughout today or will experience it today. So let me offer a prayer. Gracious God, we just give you praise and thanks for you are mighty and powerful and faithful and good and so many other things that we can't even words can't even begin to describe how powerful and mighty you are, and yet you care deeply about us, and you love us, and you are our safety and our strength and our hope in every situation, God. So I thank and praise you for that, and just pray, God, that you would make yourself known to us and in ways that remind us of your presence in our world and in our life, that we can always have hope. God bless you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.